Hey guys, it's been a while. This is Breezy.
And this is Dani.
And this is Spectrum Podcast.
Meow! Hell yeah, I'm eating Swedish chocolate with a lizard's mouth.
And I'm sipping on a hazy IPA, the Hiker's High.
Brought to you by Figueroa Mountain Brewing Company.
Hashtag please sponsor us. Shamelessly. So Dani, what's new? What's old? We haven't seen each other in like 2 weeks and some
What's
change.
new and what isn't old? Dude, nothing's changed. I mean, I'm busy at work.
Yeah, you kind of got thrown under the bus yesterday. How'd that resolve? Did you actually get a lunch break?
No, I didn't, but I did go sneak off to like a 7-Eleven down the street and just grab.
Did you get paid overtime for not taking a lunch break, probably?
Well, yeah, I got paid for that. Even if it wasn't a full... I mean, I got paid
was
the
like,
extra
is
hour.
he giving her a back scratch by letting her get overtime?
Yeah, it was no big deal. I mean, it was and it wasn't. I mean, it's not like the store was full of people.
No, you're good. I was just...
And,
I'm making it more comfortable for you.
It wasn't full of people, and it just wasn't an overwhelming amount of work to do, so...
Everything was
It
kosher.
was Gucci.
Yeah. Speaking of, we're going to go buy that later. And discount. Yeah. That's what's up. Love having friends.
I want Zoomies to sponsor us, too. How cool would that be?
Ooh, at Zoomies. Yeah, actually, that would be cool.
I want a pair of, like, pit vipers. They're so cool now. Like,
we really need someone to just, like, also want to be a part of the team that's into doing video, because I just feel like we're never going to do it unless someone takes responsibility, and I don't want it to be me. I feel like you know how we never got episode 13 on its feet? You might not remember, but the first time that we tried to record episode 13 for, like, if we were just contiguously recording episodes forever.
Yeah.
We tried to do the video, and you were, like, insistent on it being on your phone, and then your phone legit just, like, stopped recording within, like, 5 minutes or something. I'm like, starting.
A lot of data on my phone.
It was
memory.
But just the one added element of thinking about actually having to deal with the visual, I think it broke my will a little bit, and then I was like, I am too overwhelmed. And then we re-recorded 2 more times before we actually got it on its feet, by which time it was just season 2. Hey.
I think that was a smarter thing to do anyway.
Yeah, I'm on that.
Well, fuck, what's new with you? You just got back from Sweden.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was great. Got to snowboard, got to see great friends of ours get married, and have just a party with a bunch of friends.
And while you were gone, your preschool got notification of potential school shooter in the area.
It was like on lockdown. I'm like, this is why we should just stay in Sweden. You know what was worse than that? Because that was mild compared to legit the Sunday night, the night before the most recent elementary school mass shooting that happened in Nashville, now 2 weeks ago or whatever. I legit looked Eric square in the face and I said, tomorrow, I even pointed, I said, tomorrow in America, there will be a school shooting. Mm-hmm. And so then the next day when legit I see the news that a school shooting has happened on the Monday, the day that I predicted, quote unquote, air quote.
Yeah.
It's not even like I was like, oh, I'm a witch. I was just like, God, that's so tired, America. You're that predictable. That I could actually look my husband in the face, said it seriously, felt bad that I said it seriously, and then the next day that happened, didn't feel anything by it except I'm so fucking tired of seeing news like this come out of my country.
There's just a lot of angry people. But you know what's cool?
People. Okay, so like flash forward, like in the 2 weeks since then, like the 3 Democratic lawmakers in Nashville or in Tennessee rather that stood up and tried to be like, you know, like let's just have some common sense gun measures like these other states have so that people can't just run amok and be killing each other. And then they were like, ooh, we don't like you guys. We're going to oust the 2 black ones of you from like our local Congress, and all these students, all these like 18-year-olds show up and they were like, fuck you fascists, and thousands of people all fucking complain. Like, you just threw out elected officials, duly elected officials. Like, they have people who are under investigation in the same like legislative that no one cares, not ousted, but these people for standing up for like what the voters wanted.
I mean, yeah, in the fucking Constitution, it literally gives us the right to overthrow the government if we just don't agree with them.
So then, like, everyone puts the pressure on, and then in the past week, both the officials that they ousted got reinstated. Fuck those fascists, dude. And that's what it takes, is like everybody has to stand up and remind the fucking fascists that there's like, to every one elected official, there's thousands. There's more than 1,000 people. Legit, there's so many more fucking humans.
I wonder how many people it
country.
would take to actually
overthrow
the government.
And then think about this,
like
because
all these buildings
I love it. Wait,
at the same time.
And the cake, right? The total like top of the cake, the little icing with the fucking sprinkles and the cherry on top, is that because those assholes refuse just federally to like lock down on guns, the easiest thing in the world would be to take the fucking government over, because we have guns.
So many
guns legally. And we could just take our big ass guns and be like, fuck the government. You saw what happened on January 6th. I'm not saying I was a part of that, but like, they pretty much proved like
it can be
you
done.
Can fucking do it.
It can be
like
done.
Legit, only like 2 people died. I mean, that's pretty good that only like 2 people died. Like, it could have been so much
people
worse.
Died?
Yeah, there was like one security guard that got shot or whatever, and one woman that died at the same, like, both died in the building, but whatever. It could have been worse.
Yeah.
And like, all I'm saying is like, fuck the fascists. Let them know.
I was hoping that Donald Trump would get arrested because I just want a picture of his mugshot.
I mean, he did get arrested.
I want it on a hoodie.
He did get arrested.
Where's his mugshot?
Look it up right now. I don't know. I don't know if they call it a mugshot, but they must have something, a booking shot, because he got taken in New York for the Stormy Daniels thing. It's pretty ironic. Stupid cunt. Wait. No. What a scrote.
Fucking scrotum.
Fucking scrote. In less depressing, less present things. Bro, I got to see the Northern Lights in Sweden.
How was that?
It was so magic.
That's really cool.
I was really stoked. I would be
stoked too.
It has to be cold enough and clear enough for you to see it. You also need to be pretty far north. So we went to the Swedish mountains where our friends were going to get married. Sjötefjäll, for those who know Lapland in Sweden. Yeah, it was amazing. It was very cold. We were inside. And then friends of ours who were arriving later got all these epic shots coming into the valley, driving in, and they were like,
have y'all been outside yet?
Yeah, you guys get your asses outside and look at the sky. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I took pictures, and like, the greens were really obvious to the eye, to the naked eye. But when you took a shot with like, I don't know, my iPhone was just like, don't move, bitch. And I'm like, okay. And I like did like kind of like this night shot, and there was all this purple too, and I was like, whoa,
that's so cool,
super beautiful, magical stuff.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah, and I was sort of the last person to the party there, in the way that, I mean, everyone else who is in their 30s has seen these at some point in their life because they've been in Sweden their whole lives. So I'm like the California
it's like a normal
girl.
thing there.
Yeah, so it would also be a normal thing if you're up where, like, my friend Amber is in Alaska. So Eric's hometown is latitude about the same as Anchorage, Alaska. So Umeå and Anchorage, real similar.
Oh, cool.
Super far north.
That's really, really cool. I'm ready to go.
You should come. I think we should get a big group together in summer 2024, guys.
That'd be really cool.
Natalie and Jonna want to come. Shout out. I love you guys. The Armstrongs. Keep it real in Alta. Meth is bad. Okay.
Dude, do you ever watch South Park?
I used to watch it a lot.
That show is okay, I'm just going to lay it out there. This show, South Park, was by white people for white people.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I actually don't watch it anymore because I kind of like, I don't get as much out of it. But back in the day, it was pretty formative shit.
Okay.
It's easy, okay? Yo, dude, I have something for you.
Okay.
I think I expanded on my list of bad band names.
And I just have to describe what music they make.
Really, it's just the orifice reducers.
Orifice reducers?
The orifice reducers.
I think of like really weird like techno, like dungeony techno.
Dungeony techno.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that.
Very hard style. Just.
I love it. Everything else I actually realize I've said to you, I think. Like, maybe not this one. Long African nipples.
That sounds right. Everyone has long African nipples at one point.
As a woman who has breastfed a kid, I can relate.
Or just a guy who sucks on your titties.
You know. Dude,
Yo, honestly though, my life has been pretty crazy lately. Not actually, like not even my life. I think it's those around me. They have so much going on, and my home right now is so stable. Like my home, between my partner and I, is stable.
That's good.
I've never had that before. So when everything around me, including my friends, my family, like
everybody else is in chaos.
I have crisis. My insecurities, but I've realized that my insecurities stem from the unstable that I've had around me for so often.
Instability, yeah.
So
yeah, that sounds about right. Danny, blame others. No, just kidding.
No, I'm not blaming anybody.
I know. I'm
just my mom.
Getting your goat.
I'm only blaming my parents.
Yeah, well, actually, in a sense, that's because your parents are the ones who are supposed to be helping upbring you.
I think the smarter way of saying that I'm blaming you is I'm holding you accountable.
Fair enough.
And for somebody to take accountability in the wrongdoings or mishaps, or even if you felt like you weren't wrongdoing somebody, their reaction shouldn't be I don't agree, like I didn't do that, so you shouldn't be this mad. You know, that's for me. I learned that gaslighting
and confrontation do not mix well for people. I mean, if the unfortunate truth of the matter is that unless someone sees themselves as being in the light of whatever you're like describing, unless they see themselves in that same way, it doesn't really matter that you tell them how it is, because they just don't see themselves like that.
My mom used to tell me for a long time that I get like really defensive, that I get really, really defensive. And I didn't understand that because my mom she's a pro manipulator, absolutely pro manipulator, making me think that she was the strongest and the one who sacrificed everything for what we have today and everything that she's been through, all the hardships she did for her kids. But
I think she might believe all that stuff.
No, she does.
Which is why
that's what a narcissist is. Like, right. You believe that you actually did all of these obstacles.
It threatens her anytime that you bring up that's like... whatever. It's not. Yeah.
My youngest sister screamed in her face, like screams in her face, and my mom is just. I don't understand why you're so mad. Like, why are you so mad? Why do you hate me? Why are you so mad at me?
She disassociates from whatever it is.
I don't understand why you're so mad at me. We all lived through like some hard shit, is what she would say.
Dog,
I blame it on my father.
You know what? I was thinking about something the other day, and back at the holidays, we did a scavenger hunt with like Paige and a bunch of the homies, and
oh yeah,
and like I used to be pretty competitive when I was growing up. Mm-hmm. You know, I played sports, and you could keep it there; it was safe, but I mostly feel like I've grown out of being competitive. And then I was like, maybe not. So I was thinking about, like, that night, there was, like, one crucial thing that happened that allowed us to win. And it was that we all went up and sang karaoke at Whiskey Dick's, and we did a Christmas karaoke song as a group.
Don't you have to sing Feliz Navidad?
No, we actually did whatever we wanted, and
okay.
I had us do like Santa Baby, like some sexy Madonna one. It was hilarious.
That's
pretty
funny.
The even worse part about this is that we were so last second to sign up for karaoke, and we had such a small window of time to do it and get back to her house, like in order to not just disqualify ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
That I legit fucking paid the DJ $20 goddamn dollars to move our shits up by like 2 spots and play us next. And then I had this thought, Dani, like, I'm an actual singer. Like, I can sing. And I just can't believe that anyone would ever have to pay Whiskey Dicks to sing there, let alone someone who can actually sing. I'm like almost offended for myself, except that I was like, wait a minute, this is just a sign of how goddamn competitive I am. I was willing to toss my big ass nuts on the table and fucking Venmo $20 to DJ whoever the fuck works at Whiskey's. So, you know what, dude? At least we won the scavenger hunt that night. Like,
were you on Paige's team?
Yeah, I was on Paige's team.
Paige wins every year.
I know. I feel like people are starting to think that. Next year, maybe I won't be on her team just to see if it's her that's really got the magic or if I'm just lucky to be on the right team.
She knows where to go, and she does like a bunch of them at the same spot.
And
That's
contributed. I contributed hard with the Whiskeys. I showed up.
Yeah, she knows where to go. So that.
God, I can't believe I did that.
This year, I'm gonna kick her ass.
I should ask for that $20 back from that guy.
Whatever. That's so funny.
I know.
You used money to advance.
I mean, what's more capitalistic than that?
Yeah, for a competition.
I was surprised we didn't have to pay anybody else for like any of their contributions, and we're like, oh, let us take a picture, guy with the Santa hat, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Or a Santa.
All of the people who were able to help us with the scavenger hunt had to be taking pictures with us because that was like your evidence of it happening.
Yeah,
so
no, I know. I remember how they work.
I feel like if we were in LA, it would be a pay to play kind of thing.
That's funny.
I don't know. Ooh, what else is new?
I haven't seen you in like 2 weeks. I kind of just want to go fuck off and fuck around. You ever just have like moments in life where you feel like an absolute gang member?
You know what, dude? We could make this one short because me and fucking JD recorded 2 hours the other day, and I could do an intro with this and then be like, hey guys, enjoy parts 1 and 2 of my conversation with my new friend JD, who's also a comedian down in Orange County.
Even if we're not like, dude, I've been on some cowboy shit.
And give me nuts, because see, I felt it yesterday. I just went with the feeling like, no, that's fine, bro. Like, I don't want to force it. And I was already thinking, I'm like, shit, if we record a whole hour now and then I still have 2 hours to like edit of his, I'm like, that's going to be a while. But this is going to be way easy. It's only, we got 18 minutes right now.
That's amazing. I love that shit.
Let's just wrap it at 20. Fuck it.
Fuck yeah.
Because I feel like right now, like the things that you want to talk about are off mic, and like then we'll be fresher next week. I got my schedule already, so we can figure it out.
Oh, you have a schedule.
I know.
Bree has a fucking job, like a real job. She worked 8 hours yesterday or
on Wednesday. But you know what's crazy? I got so hungry because I was like spending so much calories like moving my body and moving shit.
Your little lanky body.
I'm stoked, dude. I basically got paid to work out. I'm like, great. My butt's gonna look great soon.
I hope
so I gotta put
so.
some of those butt lifters on and be like, no, it's for my back. And my ace sheep.
That's funny.
Oh, well, you guys, enjoy this special 2-part episode, by which I just mean I'm going to break it into 2 different posts because it's 2 hours long. So hours 1 and 2 of my conversation with JD. And tune in with me and Dani next week for more of the same new shit.
And share your really cool cowboy shit stories, if you could.
Say it into the mic, Dani.
No.
Say it again. No, say it again.
Share with me your cowboy stories.
Also, if you'd like to be on the pod, just at us somewhere. All of our shit's in the description. Do your homework. Look at the description.
Just scroll a little bit more.
At spectrum.pod on Instagram. Also, at Steezy Breezy, at Dani Loza. If you don't know how to spell, fucking look at the goddamn description.
You fucking scrotums.
Yeah, remember, don't be a scrote. And don't slit the throat.
Of others.
No, I was going to say, don't be a scrote and don't slit your throat. But that, well, is it a bitch move to slit your own throat? Ooh.
Slit your own throat?
It's kind of hard.
Can you imagine?
It's gross.
With like something really thin too.
Okay, don't be a scrote.
Like in your jugular.
Don't be a scrote and, oh my Lord. Get the goat. Don't be a scrote. Let's do it. Hey guys, it's been a minute. I took some travels. This is Breezy. Welcome to Spectrum Podcast. I fucked up the timing. Spectrum Podcast. I'm doing a special episode. I'm doing a guest episode with my new friend, if I may be so bold.
Bold, that's bold.
I don't know, JD.
Yes, hello. Yeah, the coffee's bold. That's what's good.
I was taught that if I make it weak, we call it angel piss in Swedish, or at least that's the direct translation. I guess like,
How's that?
I guess it'd be like angel kiss.
Yeah. But here in America, we like our coffee with a lot of coffee in it.
I make it strong enough. I think I know less about coffee when I worked at a coffee shop when I was like 20 than I know now when I'm 34 and addicted.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Sorry, you had to hit over the fact 34. It's like, yes, I am. So when you run around and travel and go to, sorry, should you tell us or do
No, hop in, dude.
Okay.
We have a loose interview style here. It's called Anything Goes.
Anything goes. Okay, so usually when you like meet people randomly that are like friends of your friends or you're at an event, you're like, oh, that's so cool, nice to meet you. Someone isn't like, oh, cool, like, oh, by the way, like, how old are you? You get to that point. Oh, okay.
No, you're good. I'm also my own sound engineer, so I'm just. If I move things, it's me just trying to be diligent.
Yeah. It's like I hire myself to do the part that I need to do. Anyways.
Many hats.
Yes. Oh, I'm not wearing a hat. Oh no. Okay. But yeah, rare do you like walk up to someone and you're like, oh, you're freaking awesome, dude. That's awesome. And then you're like, oh, like you're the same year as me. Oh, wait, you're like. Wait, what is it, like 6 or 7 days away from me?
We're 1 week apart.
We're 1 week apart.
You're the 17th of May, and I'm the 24th of May.
Yes.
Same year.
Same year.
Relatively same area of the state being born, both in Orange County.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's, believe it or not, there's a bunch of people that were born in the same year.
Yo, dude, 88's a good year. I really think so. I have a lot of friends from like childhood and high school who've just done such wonderful things with their lives and not done, are continuing to do. They're like people out there in the world making the world a different place because of their existence. And I'm like, ooh, child, I look up to you and I want to just be on that level. And so that's why I have a podcast. Thank whatever universal force you look up to, but thank them for being here.
Yes. So in this case, that universal force happens to be some freaking chick from college traveling through. Is like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, come hang out. Meet my friends. I was like, what? Like, I haven't talked to her in like 10 years.
Because our dear friend Paige, our mutual friend Paige, is a node person. She loves to connect others, and we are grateful for that.
Yes, she is. like was one of those friends of a friends going all the way back to like, dude, I was making fun of you, making sure we're on the same page like so long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not to mention she's, you know, an awesome person for that. But like, Space Invaders.
Space Invaders.
Oh, sorry, we just got beamed by. Did you hear that? I don't know. Was that just me?
Was it? Wait. I got something for this.
What are these buttons, dude? This is awesome.
So, you're from California. I'm from California. We both were born in Orange County.
We were actually born like 15, 20 miles away from each other.
That's so crazy. Fountain Valley. Dude, so me and JD just became instant friends literally over the weekend. Or like at the end of the weekend.
Yeah, well, you joined us at for a night, I believe. You know,
For I did I calculated it like 6 hours. I hung out with you guys for 6 hours on Sunday night till like 3 a.m. and then went home because I was like, I need some kind of sleep.
Yeah, but you're a local yokel here. So
I'm a local yokel here, and it's in my backyard. The part that was not in the backyard is that I started out Sunday morning in Copenhagen, Denmark, on my way back across the pond from being in Sweden for 2 weeks.
Oh my God, yeah,
for a wedding and visiting family and such, and snowboarding, bros.
Yeah.
If anyone follows me on my Instagram, that's all I have is like cutesy family posts of being in the snow right now. So, because I'm a mama. I got a baby.
My brain goes halfway between how is someone that's like my age, like a mama, like
a stable partnership.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking seriously, I could not.
How do you have this figured out?
I could not do it on my own.
Not at all, dude. Like not even possible.
Parenting is a very huge gift, but I really think it takes a village and it takes a good partnership in the least. So yeah,
yeah,
like definitely have a good partnership.
Yeah. So what's great about something like this is now that I just met this person, I had to then go through all of the questions of like, okay, well, who are you? Like, what do you stand for? How do you know someone? Like, and then not to mention the story of how they met and how, you know, the little ones. And so like, I got the, you know, 6 hours into who this person is. And next thing I know, I'm over being invited to come hang out and yell into this, big black thing in front of me.
Microphone.
And I'm terrible with microphones because in my existence, the microphone is like either here and it's attached and I'm, Space Invaders, they're hitting me again. Out, beam.
Okay, I get it. Because of video games, it's really funny that when you first said that, I like saw you as being like a boy band on the stage.
Funny you should mention that.
I was like, yes, JD, tell me the past was boy bands.
You would think that I was I've been running from my own life for so long.
We do that.
Yeah, that like.
I think then being in your 30s is about facing yourself. It's like, as the Carl Jung followers would say, the shadow self is there. You're finally kind of opening up to what that is. And it's kind of a scary but bold and courageous time in one's life to tackle that.
Dude, yeah. I think that's... Okay, hold on. I got...
This is claps for all of you that are dealing with life out there. I'm on that tip. We are on that tip.
Oh, which tip?
The tip of dealing with life.
Yeah, so do you have any tips for dealing with life?
Marijuana in a healthy amount. If you're okay with a drink every now and again, maybe that.
Yeah.
Actually, relationships gets people a long way. So being a decent ass human being and kind enough to the people around you to have good relationships will go a long way.
Dude, yeah.
In making happiness be present in your life. At least that's what I find.
Is it sharing and crying time? Is it sharing and caring time? Like, is it...
Well, how did we meet on Sunday night?
So, hold on.
Lucidity Festival.
Yeah, so we're at this thing called Lucidity. And from my POV, from my worldview, from my space that I am communicating from...
Yes.
I went to this event called Lucidity 10 years ago.
Oh, bro, yeah.
And we were like, cool, this is awesome, dude. Like, cool, you know. And I went with like my college buddies, and we were in our 20s, and we're just like,
the stages now are so much goddamn bigger.
Yeah. And so I was buying tickets to another festival, and I'm like, wait, this week, 10 years.
You're like, fuck
yeah,
it.
fuck me. Like,
God damn it, I'm old, and let's do it.
kind of, and it's rare to find that time. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. That's what. Okay. What is when in your brain? What is that? Well, I hit it one more time. What?
It's like coming back around, man.
Yeah. It's like a power
chord
progression, baby. It's like bang. Yeah, but like I've been a fan of all this stuff like my entire life, and I've recently spent a lot of time not being part of like the going outside club.
Well, part of that was COVID.
Well,
I was on that pandemic tip. I was stuck in home.
My bad, dude. So
I went a little
conspiracy
crazy.
Theory,
a little crazy.
A little hot take. I don't know if this is good or bad,
That's
but
fine.
I apologize for starting COVID.
Damn it, JD.
I know.
We should have known.
One of my coworkers was on his way to. He was on his way to China for a business
the market,
thing.
and
I coughed on him, and then like he left. He came back. He's like, oh, by the way, like you should not like. So he was like my informant because
you heard it here first. This is the JD conspiracy as to how COVID-19 started.
Well, here's the thing. At the time,
It's not a shameless plug for his comedian career. It is serious business.
It's serious, folks. I apologize.
No.
But at the time, like I was playing video games, so the concept of like not going outside or talking to anyone.
You were
was,
like, fine.
No, I was like, fuck yes. And, like I needed a reason to quit my.
This is my life already.
So so like you know how you sometimes make excuses if like you
never. Yes.
Well, if you can't make excuses, then just cough on someone that goes the other side of the world. They're like, yeah, we don't know what happened. It was bats or something. And but I had this gnarly cold. I took all of my antibiotics. I felt better, and I had like 1 or 2 left. And I'm like, no, I don't need to finish it.
Yeah.
And then I coughed on some dude in a parking lot. Next thing I know, like I'm fucking sitting at home, like getting delivery. I've just got like my multiple screens going. I'm just yelling.
Uber Eats is at the door.
Yeah. Oh, the best part now is you don't have to have that awkward conversation. Remember that awkward, like the guy had to ring the door. He had to
now he just leaves it on the doorstep. He's like, you pay less. Don't touch me. Don't look at me.
So I'm like,
not even through the window, creep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It is kind of super creepy that like we had professionals that were delivering stuff, and then we're just like, I'm just gonna deliver stuff now. And you're like,
who knows what happens from point A to point your house?
Yeah, at least they have to have. Well, there's like rules and stuff. But
I mean, rules are meant to be broken in my experience.
Yeah, and I think
hopefully the delivery guy is honest.
Yeah,
and honestly not dipping his balls in your soup.
Like, if the guy literally handed it to me and he's like, dude, I had like 3 bagglers. Is that chill? And I would have been like, fuck yeah, dude.
Where he's like, I was a little hungry, so if it looks kind of light in the breadsticks,
So this is another guy's bit that I was, but he talks about his experiences just being a delivery guy. And he has this whole thing.
Oh, that must be fun.
But think about the kids that are getting, so when I was a kid,
I lived with a delivery girl also, really? In Silver Lake.
You need to tell me.
No, but your story first.
No, okay. So, I'm just saying, like, so when like Uber first like was invented, I was like, oh, this is genius. And then like I did it for a little bit, and then like the math and science,
the driving.
Yeah. Like this is cool. I could just drive people around. I'm a driver type. Like
my car's not a total piece of shit. I got this.
Yeah, I got this. And then as soon as like 5 drunk people wanted to get in my little like hatchback,
oh no,
it's like
they're all yelling and scratching.
Yeah, and I'm just
about to puke.
Nope, not gonna happen. And not to mention my like the MPG. It didn't make sense for me.
Like I have more respect for myself and my car.
I know.
Fuck you, Uber.
But this is before they even had like if somebody throws up, there's a fine.
Was this like when Lyft still had the fucking pink furry mustaches on?
Dude.
And do you remember when they first came out? They literally, to stand aside, had these stuffed pink furry kind of mustaches
they had to,
that
like,
hung on the front of the car, like where you would put horns if you were in Texas,
or like the little ladybug eyelashes kind of thing.
Oh my god, I forgot about those.
Oh yeah,
I don't even know that dates us like back when the VW Bug like redesigned itself in the year 2000. They came out with this horrible idea of, hey, let's just make it look like a girl, and you could get like eyelashes and a bralette for the front of your fucking car.
What is a bralette on a car?
Like the fucking, it was like under lingerie for a car.
Dude, that's what we need, dude.
Is that what we need?
We need car
bring back the lingerie for the car.
Yes.
I will say I had one experience.
Car dress ups, dude.
You ever have a car turn you on before?
Okay, so like when I was a kid,
I have a story for that one.
does it have anything to do with like
Porn. It has to do with porn.
Okay.
It was. I accidentally
Confession,
stumbled on.
I know what porn is.
We're honest here on Spectrum Podcast. We acknowledge that porn is out there. Dani, my co-host, had an addiction to porn, so we talk about porn like gingerly, but with like it's powerful. Like she literally had like a porn addiction when she was young, and it was in response to shit that happened in her childhood. So so we talk about that shit, but I like happened to stumble onto some porn that maybe you guys have seen. It was like, I mean, it's really it's pretty PG. It's pretty PG-13 because like they're mostly clothed, but like the guy is banging his Tinder date like in the driver's seat of his Tesla while it's on self-drive mode, and you're like, this can't be safe. And you're like, he's in Florida. Well, I guess that's all right. It's pretty flat. Like, every now and again, you see him like nudge the wheel, but like I was just like, what the fuck? But it was kind of hot because like it was just. I was like, wow, you can do that? And I was like, weird. And then like I was like walking in a parking lot like days later, and some subconscious like fucking like this happened to me in my pants as I like passed a fucking Tesla, and I was like, oh, like.
Oh, so it's the fact that video, the Tesla, the experience, it got zapped into the Tesla.
Yeah, somehow I was turned on by Teslas for like 1 week. It was hilarious.
We found a new PR campaign.
Tesla. The car that you can fuck in and still drive.
So that was weird. I found a bunch of Teslas actually over the weekend.
Bro, you're in Santa Barbara. Nothing weird about that.
No, but Teslas are
I got over that really fast because it's like after the third Tesla, I was like, okay, this is not going anywhere.
Yeah, but like if you could count, I bet you, or maybe it's just where I live or where I've been driving around, but like at least every 100th car is a Tesla.
Oh yeah. Or now in Santa Barbara in general, it's probably like every 3 out of 10 cars is electric.
Yeah, well, at least the ones that are running around doing stuff when I'm running around doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if
maybe even more. Maybe I'm not even being generous enough there.
Yeah. But like it's crazy to me. Over this last weekend, there's like a camping like sleep in your car mode for the Tesla and then there's like I didn't fucking know that shit.
Out at Lucidity.
There's a dual motor Tesla, and there's a motor for the back too and a motor for the front. So it's not all wheel drive, but that's what they call. I didn't know. I talked to some guy that had one.
Oh, I thought they were all wheel drive.
No, it says there's a separate one that says dual wheeled, so it has like a
whole
thing in the back.
Did they mob their Tesla out to that?
It's like the same thing.
That top campsite at Lucidity.
Yeah, up in the hay fields. Because here's the other thing. I've been to this camping facility, if you will, where the oaks are live. But
live
for the most
oaks,
part, they're not live because it's
the name of the oak tree that's there.
Oh, my bad.
That's the actual species of oak is either valley oak or live oak.
Yes, but because of the rain, it was green AF.
Yeah. It was also the river provided. The river's real right now, and the funny part for Lucidity is that in the entirety of their time of hosting it's been such drought that they could go to a whole parking area across the river that you drive through the riverbed to get to.
Yeah.
And it was never a problem. But this year, they couldn't do it. And so that's why everyone had to park like in the Santa Ynez Valley or whatever. That's not close. At the airport?
So they had to pump people at the airport, which was a good 15, 17 miles north of it, all the way down.
Down in the Santa Ynez Valley.
And they wanted people to check in there because they didn't know if anyone's going to be able to get in because how raging this river was.
So were people literally getting on those shuttle-y things and riding on the freeway in the back, just standing?
A lot of my friends
like
had
cattle?
to park over there. I don't have an all-terrain vehicle, so they're like, yo. But here's the thing: it was so wet that they're like, yo, you're gonna get stuck out here. It's like a bog under the water. Great. Because of how wet it was, there was these points
when
where
you pulled up there, it was wet ground.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So my dumbass.
Did you go in like on Friday or something? Thursday?
Okay, so my dumbass paid extra for Thursday because I'm like $99 to get there a night early. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And because of my current situaciones, I was like, well,
working as a comedian.
yeah, it's like $99 to stay in a hotel. hotel, or do I just pay $99, get there early, set up my shit, try to like pick out the best spot?
There's like not even $99 hotels in this area.
No, believe me, I've been running amok on.
You could pay that to like sleep on a guy's couch,
or I will just go buy a bunch of beers and some legal marriage Awanas or whatever the fucks.
And we're in Cali. Everything's legal.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing I have a whole thing that I'm still working on, but like, I'm from this place called Irvine.
Oh, yeah.
And so down there.
Did you ever go to Lightning in a Bottle when it was down there?
Yes.
It was fun years.
It was some of the best years of my life.
Yeah, me too.
But here's the thing. I'm from there. Like that's my home turf. That's like if you're gonna have a festival and like you and I were born, that's like our local thing.
Yeah,
like
right
our celestial pattern stuff is like, we're like that's my
really like with Irvine. So you had to. I mean, at least I felt like being in Fountain Valley.
Like some people would call that Irvine Lake.
It's almost Long Beach.
But it's
almost,
a whole other
I mean, almost Huntington. I think my parents were living in Huntington, but like they went to Fountain Valley to hospital to have me. It's right there.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing: Orange County is its own grove where everything is intertwined. Oh, look, I'm getting Space Invaders again.
Orange Grovey.
Do you hear that, or is that just me?
Oh, is it like? Is it just doing it in your headphones? I don't know.
Yeah, my headphones have a little bit of feedback.
I just got it there.
Here's the problem.
Oh, your phone. It's your phone. Put your phone up here.
Oh, it might be.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, my phone is so like technology. You're right.
It's your fucking 5G.
My
His 5G is like infecting my goddamn shit.
So.
Oh, I didn't mean to hit that one, but that's okay.
Hold on, hit the other one, and then we'll pretend it never happened.
I don't know what I was going for.
Wait, how many sounds did we do?
That's what.
Okay. Can I wear my sunglasses?
How did I forget that?
Is that weird to talk?
If you want, I can close the curtains and make it darker in here. I can take away the curtains.
We need to talk about dark, sexy things. Wait, what?
Dude, yeah. So let me ask you some questions.
Okay, so anyways, if people don't understand, nowadays we have like technology, so like you can now, when people put all their shit up online, if you didn't go to the event and someone's like, yo, I went, and they could be like, the fucking Where's Waldo of going back. But like the thing that still bugs the shit out of me is how much I missed at an event just because I could only be in one spot at one time.
FOMO.
I'm literally FOMOing. Like,
but you guys all barely slept. That's what I made a joke to Paige about. I was like, bro, I thought about it. I'm all lacking sleep because I slept 5 hours going into like a 10.5-hour flight, and then I didn't sleep on that flight, and then I was still up that night. And so I had very little sleep. But then I looked at Paige and I was like, bro, knowing your schedule, I had one of these. I bet we're on the same amount of sleep. She's like, oh, yeah, totally. So I was on the same page.
Yes. And I was invited to sit on the same page as you, or to hang out on the same page as you.
Yeah, we had a good time.
I didn't sit on page. But I did give her a massage.
As Colin said, my chakras were aligning, and I was like dancing my ass off. It was like, whoa, 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 whoa. It was really fun.
Oh, dude, you were fucking wiggity
so manic. I was feeling myself.
When you go to these events and people are like dressed up, it's like
so much fun.
If you can't even possibly picture it, you could, and then realize that they have like an Instagram, and you can then you can see all the like the flood of just all the aftermath. What's weird is they have an app, and it's like, why can't the app automatically just get a copy of? And you're like, hey, will you let for this till this day to this day? Would you let us automatically copy anything that your phone grabs? And then
I think you could do that. I think they do that at Coachella.
Yeah, and then if you say yes, then it's like cool, and then you could run around.
But in Coachella, they
think
just
about it, and then the professionals and everything can get all this extra stuff and like mold it together. It's like I want to volunteer to like have like run around and like take pictures and have the pictures go back to the smart people.
Whatchamacallit? It's like
or whatever the fudge.
When you're
or the artist that
pulling from the community.
Yeah.
I like it, dude.
Yeah. Oh.
Sorry.
Dude, we're playing footsies over here.
Yeah, I know. It's a small space.
It's all good.
But
here's the other thing. Like, people don't know who you fucking are, and you literally got off a plane and you came in fucking like jet plane mode, like, yo, what's up, dudes? Yeah, and I was like, yeah, like, who's this bitch? And I think the first thing we said to you was like, why don't you suck your own dick, bitch? Like, fuck.
Yeah. You went right into that, and I was like, what's up?
Yeah.
Paige was like, you guys are gonna get along great. And then she's like, he just opened mic down in Orange County, and I was like, oh, sick, okay.
Yeah. So I'm running around. I'm just exploring. I put my name in the hat. Oh, I'm not wearing a hat right now. Fuck, that's why I'm getting zippity zap, bro.
That and your 5G technology.
I just started this 5G thing. What's interesting is
I know, dude, it fucks with your shit.
But like you can feel it, right? So one of the things I need to do is there's EMF protecting bracelets, or this is one's particular is
this makes sense. We have technology that we're afraid of, so then we have to adopt other things to deal with our fear of the technology.
No, it's just it's literally like okay. Yes. Correct, but I'm a little bit of a technology head considering what I've been doing for a living.
No, man. I mean, I'm
also I'll play the devil's advocate
but
on the devil's side.
Nothing. All right, we have a friend who's a professor at MIT, and he's like the smartest person I've ever met in my life, and he was doing his doctoral or whatever out here at UCSB because it has such a badass physics department and
so he's like one of those
this and that. He's like a genius, dude. He's like Neil deGrasse Tyson kind of genius. And what he studies out there at MIT now is pretty mind blowing. It's like it's a cross between nanobots and nanotechnology and AI. Okay. Which should scare us all, to be honest, because they're like self-teaching these. Imagine the most just matrixy kind of shit, or I don't know. What's a good? Okay. There's got to be one. Maybe you can help me. There's some movie where maybe nanobots can get together into like just an automatic shape of something and like become a thing. I feel like it's like shit like
Ben 10 or Ben 8 or what was that? What was that movie? So here's the thing, like, if it exists in a movie,
maybe it's more wild than that. Okay, but basically they have morphable nanobots or nanobots that are able to like become. Bro, I don't know. It's kind of like just imagine some amorphous nanobot thing that's now mixed with AI and then can just like become self-aware and become a thing. Yeah, it's something like that, and then they just observe what happens. And then I just heard this.
I'm just like,
one of my friends sent me this message that was earlier today that was showing a conference on AI, and this guy was presenting on stage, and he's like, I found this to be surprising. About 10% of the people who are doing the most leading edge, research on AI believe that if we do not get a better handle on AI and an understanding of it, we will become extinct because of it. Yeah. Within our lifetimes or something like that. And I was like, what?
Yeah, what's a paragraph from your perspective on how to answer or solve this potential crises? Oh, and there's
love. I'm going to let my dog in.
Yeah, there's a doggy. Doggy wants in.
Before you scratch all the paint off my dog.
Yeah. The doggy's like, oh, we want to talk about this stuff? Oh, yeah.
All right, Bendy, try and be quiet. I love you. Okay, Bendy's in the house. What up, dog? All right, so what's my take on my?
Yeah, so what's your paragraph and a half? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's all used for evil. I think I don't know.
All right, maybe I'll jump in and then you can come up with what your thoughts are. So my thought is the difference between AI and having a kid is that you have to change the diapers in reality with a kid. There's really not much different with the learning process.
Training AI.
Yeah,
but the self-learning AI that they're looking at MIT is the kind of stuff that probably the 10% of people that are looking at AI in general say could be scary and run amok if we don't understand it as it becomes self-aware or whatever.
So this is and I know I'm probably going to be borrowing another person's concept here, but we just want to make sure that we're friends with AI.
Totally,
I think that's the.
Was that like the Stephen Hawkins message before he died? Kind of.
No,
he was more dire
this
than
off
that.
of Dane Cook's Snickers joke because like the one crazy guy at the job, because there's always one crazy guy at every job or whatever. So like you just want to make sure that like if he's hungry, you take care of him. You're like, yo, and so when he comes in and he kills everybody, he's just gonna be like, oh
wait, that was the guy that gave me the Snickers. Yeah, okay.
So
like, that was horrible.
So it's horrible.
Like a Dane
but when I
Cook
was in
joke.
like it's off his retaliation CD,
Get at me, bro.
or whatever the fuckers. Yeah. So, but like that concept kind of stuck with me, and maybe it's a joke, but like. I want to make sure that like everyone's happy. And AI, if you ever need some Snickers or you ever want to like bite off my brain, like just let me know. Like we could be friends about it. We
just make sure it's more in like that I at least have a fantasy world that I'm living in, and I don't really realize.
Yeah. So like you don't dream anymore either, right? Like
sometimes I do. And over the past couple weeks, I've been dreaming a lot because when I went to Sweden, I'm not smoking weed. I took some, I have like a low dose like pill thing I took just to like sustain, but
yeah,
I don't want to like,
oh sorry, I don't mean to jump in.
myself and fly.
So what
Brittany Griner changed everybody's like perspectives on flying to Europe with fucking.
Wait, is that a thing?
Dude.
Sorry, I live under a rock right now.
She was like she's a professional NBA player, WNBA player who, or whatever, that like was playing abroad, and like Russia found vape cartridges on her, and then she was like sent to like hardcore Russian like fucking gulag camps and shit.
I don't know if I can travel.
And finally Biden or someone got her out, but then it's like everyone's like, yo dog, don't fucking fly with vape juice, like that's just silly shit. Like no offense,
so back in the
it's
day
just some silly shit, like
It is, but here's the thing. Sometimes we need an example of somebody else doing something, so we're like, it's a good idea not to do that.
That was always how I described why I've never tried opioids beyond like I when I was a kid in high school, like some I'll admit like we got our hands on pills then, but I really didn't ever like it, and it made me uncomfortable coming down. It was like never a good high, and then I'd feel so fucking irritable coming down and be like itchy. It was like everything you think of condensed into one little like experience of like why like opioids are horrible, and I was like, no, fuck this. And I said, so then when people that I knew were like, oh, we're gonna like go freebase heroin, and I'm like, well, that's a horrible idea. You're fucking stupid.
Like
and I'm like,
for a dream,
and I'm like, I've seen it. Yeah, exactly. I've seen enough. This it's like if you're the 11th person in line and you see the other 10 people like hold a fucking brown paper bag up to their fucking face and sniff and go and like kind of convulse in disgust, and then hand it to the next guy, and every one of those 10 people does that, and then they hand it to you. Are you gonna fucking smell that bag? Fuck no, bro. That's me with like heroin and shit. I was like, fuck no. I'm like, I'm good on that. Like, I don't think that I'm above addiction to something that sounds like it just robs you of yourself. Like, who fucking fuck that? Like, just don't invite that shit into your life. I'm like, and I've, asterisk, lost a lot of friends to this point in life to various addictions, including heroin, including OxyContin, including fucking I don't know.
So I think that's
alcohol, like all of it. So yeah, bro.
It's the gray hairs that are coming in. Obviously, you don't have any. I have these gray hairs.
I got them dude. My dad didn't get his first gray hair till like 63 or something, and he had dark ass brown hair like me and you. So I don't know. Okay. I don't know.
No,
I think.
My dad
thank
was
you, Papa.
You have this amazing hair genetic thing, whatever the heck's going on. I think it's a wig, but it's not.
It might be a wig. I have amazing plugs. I'll send you to my plug artist.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got to pay extra for that.
Expert at taking my pubes and replacing them onto my head.
The transplant surgery looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like you can.
Flawless.
It's so wonderful.
Dude, JD, let me ask you some questions.
Oh shoot, question time?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, but wait, have we started talking yet? Like,
yeah, we've been talking this whole time, baby.
Wait, who are you again? Oh, okay, so I just want to do a quick summary thing. Sometimes you meet people and you're just like, this person knows what they're fucking doing. I catch your fucking vibe, bitch. Like, fuck yeah. Like, and maybe it's because I was drinking like more alcohol than water the entire weekend.
When you got the beer goggles on, my God, she makes sense.
Yes, exactly. Or the random people just being random, doing random things in this random environment, and everyone's dressed up and just laughing and like being a giggle. Like, it doesn't matter. Like
being a true human.
Being a true human. I was wearing bunny ears. I was dancing with kids.
It was Easter weekend, so it wasn't totally misplaced.
So here's the other thing.
Ears.
It was like the full moon of Easter weekend and some people, it's some people's holiday, and it's Year of the Rabbit.
Some people's holiday. Oh, I didn't know it was Year of the Rabbit.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So it's like super bunny fucking
Double.
Easter.
And bunnies do fuck. And that is what Easter's about. A lot of little bunny babies and a lot of eggs.
But if it was the full moon, that means the women types are like, maybe we're not fucking this second, but we're all horny AF.
Wait, I have to ask you, do you just imagine, because I
know how the moon works, bitch.
You think that every woman just has their cycle based on the moon cycle?
Not everyone, but a lot of them are synced.
Oh my God, that's so cute. I wish it was like that. That'd be so much more magical. It'd be like we turn into werewolves once a month, like under the full moon.
That's what, yes.
But dude, it is not.
Or vampire werewolf.
Here's the voodoo magic of it. Like when enough women hang out together, which I believe, what was it?
Their clocks like karate chop each other. They
Dude, Danny and I had a funny name for that shit. What?
There's a funny for it? Hold on, wait to come up.
Anyway, you know, like how you have like a murder of crows.
Oh, yeah.
A complaint of bitches. So when a complaint of bitches is hanging out.
Hold on. Yes. Yeah. That's all they do.
Yeah.
Like there's like.
So, but when a complaint of bitches is hanging out, there's some alpha female energy that like emanates from the ovaries somehow, and it's literally like
the swag that's pumping out your
weird
ovaries.
radio frequency hormonal shit. And so one woman's cycle can pull all of her friends' cycles into the same, so all of them can actually like align on cycle, and that is kind of true. It's just not necessarily tied to the full moon. But I love that you guys were like saying that on that night, and I was just straight I was straight face fucking with you and being like,
oh, you didn't enlighten us.
No, I was totally playing along because I wasn't sure if you guys were dead serious or not, so I just did deadpan to you. Okay. But I love that we're following up on it now because
yeah. Well, there's so much. We talked about so much awesomeness. The fact that like, not to mention the fact that we were like, so you know, one of the things that's brilliant about these events, no matter where you do it, when you end up leaving, so there was like an accident, so like we couldn't even go down the hill. We were just sitting there under a tree. Like,
so everyone came to my house because it's basically my backyard where we had this festival.
Yeah, so I was driving back to Orange County. No, it's a long drive. I technically didn't sleep on the last night because I had to pack up my stuff, and I met all these neighbors and all these cool people, and like someone like wrote me a handwritten note saying like thank you. It was like their first festival ever, and I was just talking to them. Like I spent a whole day hanging out on the same page with y'all, like, and they had this perfect little spot, like literally behind the stage of one of the stages. So I was just behind the stage and like
kicking it
hard, kicking it.
Yes.
But then I impulse bought myself car camping like the Monday before. So I was just like, I'm gonna be here, dude.
I'm here, I'm there.
Yeah, I took my merry little way because usually I'm like dealing with emails and issues up until the time that I'm parked like at the festival. Like you know what I mean? And then really I'm like, turn it off, shut off.
Such a good pace, just like coming in business brain. No,
yeah.
But no, I get you.
You know what I mean?
You gotta do the
responsibility,
the mind shift.
God, so but because
Remove
of my current
the working caps,
I was able to come in and
put on the
just
party hat.
Flow through the whole fucking. Yes. There was a day when I literally just like bounced around and met people at all their camps.
It was the most fun part is that everybody is open and receptive to just meeting other people and playing the game of like life together in that weekend. It's really fun. It's very present.
Yeah, and here's the coolest thing: you can't be homeless at a festival.
No, everybody's homeless together.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the stupidest shit.
They're all like camping.
Okay, so I
you
have
can just
a
like
couple
wander
ideas.
into each other's camps all friendly because everyone's like stocked on food and fun. Everything's
like
good.
so like the fact like it's like, dude, you want a banana, bro? And it'd be like, yeah, dude, or whatever it is, like whatever you have.
I'm
you
here for the bananas. The banana splits. Yo, dude, I have a question for you.
Oh, we're doing questions now?
Yeah, because I think this is a good follow-up to, we had started talking yesterday.
I need like 8 more pounds of coffee, bro. But
we can make another, I can make another pot for sure.
But we don't do that right now, obviously.
What is your personal passion project?
Very poignant question. My personal project is a company I started in like 2015 that I never had the time to invest the time needed to do it because it wasn't the right time yet.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Is the right time now?
I think so.
That's tight.
I mean, you're literally slapping me over the face right now and saying this is a good time to talk. So, Mage is. I had to make sure it didn't exist because when you're a video game guy, like I want to make my name. It can't be something else. I can't be a copy of something else.
Yeah.
But because of who I am as a person and what it means and what it stands for and what it means in other languages, it's just hilarious to me. And I carved out the internet. I didn't even search it into the search bar, if you will, because then the search bar would know that it exists at one time.
You already claimed it before.
Yes.
Before it even had the opportunity to exist.
Yeah, because of my brain,
in the
because
Google
of my
engines.
XP, my experience in life. Yeah, I don't want Googs to know what I wanted.
Building those spider webs.
Yeah. Exactly. So I was like, yeah. And then I even have my own evolutionary terms that I came up with to how to evolve myself as I get older.
Sick.
And I locked that stuff into place, and then
He's a gamer guy, you guys. If you didn't get this, gamer.
Well, in our generation, okay.
Common.
Very common.
Yeah.
We were, in my opinion, kind of like golden age of video games writers when we were kids. Yet at the same time, the semi-generation, we're in this weird thing. Okay.
No, I agree.
Moore's Law,
Like when role-playing games kind of were becoming more like interesting.
Okay.
And
So when some people in like 2004, there's this video
Final
game
Fantasy
that came
and
out
whatnot, all that
when
shit
I was in
was
high
amazing.
school. So my high school, our high school thing, like
Yeah.
2000, we have to put hard
Graduated in
numbers in here.
2006.
Yeah.
So 2002 to 2006, I guess.
Exactly. Yes. So that was our high school years.
High school
so
years.
This is when Chappelle Show was
Fucking Chappelle Show is so
slapping
pivotal
dick,
to like my life
retaliation,
views, dude.
Dean Cook, like
I have to say, for as much fucking
X-Men
flack
were
as
destroying
yo,
it.
like in my book, Chappelle's a goat. He's human.
Yeah.
He's not always perfect, but he's a goat, and he's meaning greatest of all time for any of you fucking schmucks out there that don't understand acronyms. So he's a goat of comedy, and he's just so pivotal in like shaping my worldview in like such a beautiful way.
We were that age, yeah.
Through his perspective on like racist ass shit.
Yeah.
And I love because growing up in a small mountain town, what was going to be my exposure to that? Everyone was either white or like brown in like a Hispanic sense, and then we like anyone who was like mixed race, like there was like the one black kid. There was like we literally had our token. We had our like one of my buddies fucking called Asian Dave. I mean, like you know, like
yeah,
you just
but that was
things.
like,
So it was beautiful that I had that perspective, and fucking thank you, Dave Chappelle. You are forever in my heart. I didn't mean to do that one.
fuck.
Just overcome with love for Dave.
Two at the same time. Bam. So here's how I
Dave.
remember that time. You have, it's funny that they're both DC. Dave Chappelle and Dane Cook. Like, if both of those dudes like smoked a joint together.
Dane Cook, dude, he had such a. It's funny,
But
like looking
that
back,
era,
he's so much more divisive
zeros
to
and the
people than
tens,
Chappelle.
Yeah, but
People like really either like or hate him. I feel like.
Like, can we do a Two-Face where we just take him and like they both like half and like squeeze them together, but like
Oh my god, that sounds so awesomely offensive.
it would be a very offensive.
I mean, I was a graphic designer for enough time that I probably could do that. I just like
No,
sometimes it's more of a matter of
whatever.
should than could.
Yeah, well, my bad, bro. I just came up with a stupid idea, and if it's stupid, then it doesn't matter. But hold on, what were we talking? Wait, okay, we need to ask another question.
I was looking into your personal passion project.
Oh, okay, my bad. So, Mage is an existence where the name means what it is. So, the concept of finding flow is something that I studied in college. Flow is this flow state thing, right?
Jazz musicians experience it. Professional athletes that are
When you're
in the
in the
midst
zone.
of their athleticism performing experience it. People dancing experience it. It's that in the moment kind of like
sometimes like when you doing shit and it doesn't even make you sweat, you know.
But
what
a lot
I mean?
of times
like,
and musicians experience it because it's like all of the immense amount of practice that goes in. But then in the moment you're not thinking, you're just experiencing, and your body knows what to do, and that's flow stage. Just
it's
going.
like you're no longer
or rappers doing on the spot like ad lib. Oh my god, same shit.
They're just channeling.
They're channeling
whatever that might be.
And they practice their flow other times, but it's literally called flow in rap, right? So,
yeah,
I mean,
that flow, you know, so whatever it might be.
Literally.
So sometimes you can get this flow state in whatever it is that you're doing in a particular activity. You know, some people, I don't know, when I was a kid, you sit there coloring for hours, and like, and next
you
thing
lose
you know,
track of time as part of as part of it. Like time is no whatchamacallit, whatever. It's not. It doesn't
relevant,
exist. It's
but
irrelevant.
It's irrelevant sometimes. So like the fact that time is relevant.
You just lose track of it when you're in a flow state.
Yeah.
It's not part of the equation, so to say.
Yeah. But like even just taking a second and holding my hands, it's like all of a sudden it's like, wait, seconds exist, nanoseconds exist. But like if I don't think about it, it kind of loses. And you know, look, as a video game person, when I was a kid, the coffee machine would go off. And that means that my mom's gonna be running downstairs in a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was there on the computer,
getting in your last moments before you had to like get ready
at like
for the day.
5 a.m. going, fuck. So I had to try to
you
sneak.
stayed up all fucking night.
Yeah, I had to try to sneak all the way back upstairs.
Because the computer was like in like a family room,
downstairs,
or like an office.
Yeah, it was in the office next to the kitchen, and I had to then go all the way upstairs.
So we're 90s kids.
90s, yeah.
90s into the early 2000s.
So now there's TV shows about 90s, and I'm just like, wait a minute, I'm not that old. I'm like, fuck. Like, so I went to this event called Lucidity once, and the next thing I know, it's the 10-year anniversary, and it was my second one. I'm like, so I went to the first one,
once
and
every
then 10
decade.
year later, I went to my second one.
That's great.
Like, what the fuck, bro? Where have you been doing?
Great success for them.
Like time capsule. Yeah,
they're still in existence.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Like, I went to school out here, so like I'm walking around and I'm like, dude, I remember you from like 10 years ago. Apparently, like one of these DJ guys met a chick at this event 9 years ago and proposed as part of his set. But he like fumbled the box
so
and then just slapped down this fat set. And I'm like, fuck, I missed it. And then I'm sitting here on my social media and I'm like, oh wait, it was that guy. I already know that guy. I already follow that guy. Dude, that guy's dope as fuck.
Sick.
Like, so like I was so mad that I missed out because I was at the other stage at the time that I'm like, fuck, like I don't get to be part of this story. Yeah.
Fight the FOMO.
Yeah, my FOMO's so like, But then it's like, well, I don't need FOMO. FOMO, as from a sales perspective, is something that I would have to conjugate or create in a commercial in order to make you not either one, kick me out of your office because I was just walked in to try to solicit you something.
Yes.
Two, an idea that I have that might be toxic to your petri dish of concepts or ideas. Or three, I don't know what the fuck I'm just talking about. But next question.
I love it. All right. This one was funny. I guess it works. Like, have you ever read a book that changed your life? And what is it, if so?
The one that slaps me in the face is The Alchemist. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. I'm over here.
You're okay. Yeah.
I'm over here. Talking to the microphone, you fucking idiot.
It's all good. It's good
I
if
have
you're
to make fun of
comfortable enough
myself.
to forget about it. It's good.
I know, but I have to remind myself, so I make fun of myself. Keep in mind, I'm a dumb comm major. I'm a blonde major.
Mwah. You know, all the athletes loved comm. Or more like the athletic department loved its existence because that's how the degrees went for this.
Yes, they do. So
Fine,
I got to study video game communication at one of the top institutes ranked in the world.
That's so fun, dude. That's tight.
But like how video games have changed reality. We were talking about that a little bit. That's all. That's paragraphs in another dimension. But your question had to do with a book.
Yeah. Life-changing
The Alchemist,
book. Paul Kahlo.
Yes.
Yeah, it's translated into English. I've read it too.
I haven't read it in its original tongue, if you will.
Yeah,
but
me neither. I'm not that smart.
But and what's funny is my brother is a huge bookworm, and sometimes he's also done other ones. Another one in more the fantasy realm is Name of the Wind, I believe, and And then obviously when I was a kid, people don't. Okay, here's another thing. A little sidetrack, but I'll try to put this little concept bit. I'll zip it and compress it a little bit.
Okay. The original zip file.
The original zip file. Me trying to hand you a floppy.
Yeah, fucking floppy.
Oh,
it used to be a floppy, people.
Yeah.
You don't know that, but it used to be a goddamn floppy, and it was a separate device that sat on your desk.
Yeah.
My mom had one in her home office.
Yeah. It made its own noises.
Yeah.
You could
Zip
put like
drive.
3 point, like whatever. So we're still talking on books. But hold on, we're
Childhood book.
childhood book.
I think that's where you're going.
No, we're on The Alchemist. I can't tell you anything. Just fucking read it. It's a book. Like if you can't read a book, but kids these days don't have physical books. They have fucking digital books. But I was a kid that like read every book. Like if I could sneak into the library as a ghost at night and just read.
That sounds like my sister. I always say she read more books to the time that she was 8 than I might be able to read in my whole life.
My
And
brother
kind of
beats the crap out of me.
and I
when it
really
comes
mean
to being a
that.
book
Rachel's
reader.
like
so much more. But
my sister and I are very,
brother.
very different people. She's like always.
wait, how old is your? What's your?
We're only
what's
20,
your family?
We're like 22 months apart with her being
22
older,
months, okay.
and we're super
brother's born on the
different. Like
22nd, yeah.
we look different. She's taller than me. We have different body types. She's got blonde hair and blue eyes. Her skin burns. I'm like brown haired, hazel eyed. I get tan. I have a lot of. We both have freckles at least.
So you guys are
and I'm
like
skinny. I'm like skinny as a bean. Like so, we're very different, but.
opposite sides of the
And
Punnett Square.
she like tried drinking twice in her life, had like that kind of reaction to it where it just made her like
violently sick.
Violently sick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she's sober just by choice, but she's a bookworm like no other. Like
No.
she's an amazing author and writer. Like she like co-authors fantasy with like people online. They do like kind of fan fiction and all this stuff, and it's
Oh, really?
amazing. And so
Sounds fucking
yeah,
awesome.
she's like she's who introduced me to things like manga and anime. And
Oh,
so
that's
like
another world that.
right, all the stuff that I probably had no interest in, that I may or may not have ever thought was like worth my time, like that I'm appreciative of and grateful for. So
Yeah.
very different people, very fucking different people, me and my sister. But
Yeah, and it's
a lot of the same life conclusions, despite all that.
how so?
I mean, like where we're at in how we look at the world, how we like accept our like I don't
Reality,
know,
yeah.
just a lot of things that co-align. Not everything. We
Well,
live
you both
different
seem
lives.
to be
but
like
I
loud
appreciate
voice
the fuck
creator
out of her.
types. That,
No, she's not loud voice. She's
but
definitely
she's the opposite. As your sister,
We're
she like had to rebel against what you did, so she went and did something else.
She like told me at age freaking 8 or 10, like, I'm never gonna have kids. That's on you. And I was like, oh, all right. Well,
No, and my brother.
now the world can thank her.
Because you pass on the lineage. There you go. You're the birther
double
mom. You're like the.
It's like I got a baby.
Yeah. So sometimes I make jokes that women are dinosaurs, and
It happens.
because they like have to do, they like have eggs and lay eggs and shit. Like little Yoshi's like "Pop, pop," or whatever the fuck. And technically the male's job is just a zip file or like a save file, and you're like, here's a save file for you. Thank you very much. And then the male, that's it. Like that
Yeah.
the entire male's responsibility is over, except for the fact that like they have to like hang out in caves and beat people. But I just got back from this festival. I was a kid that was allergic to everything, and because it was so green, I still have pollen inside my lungs that I somehow snorted.
See, I
or
always sound
fucking-
this rough, but maybe you don't always sound this rough. Do you feel like your voice sounds more gritty than normal?
That depends what voice we're doing.
There you go. Dude, okay. Do you think that you would survive a zombie apocalypse? Why or why not?
So, one, yes.
Good.
2, everyone needs to figure out the fact, or forgot the fact, that we spent a good 6 to 8 years of pop culture and media at the tail end of 6 to 8 years ago. Just zombie everything.
Yeah,
From
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
White
22 days
Walkers
later.
To 28. Oh,
Or
that
28
one was,
days later,
yeah.
sorry.
Okay, sorry, but that one. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
There's a in an era of movies where zombies are like, yeah, I don't need to do my cardio. You can walk. This
Dead
was a little bit before like Zombieland.
Dude, even like
I
the
worked in movie theaters, so I'm cheating. When I was in
Resident Evil,
yeah.
both video game and movies,
Yeah.
fucking sick.
Yeah. But there was a whole 2000 to 2015 where we did all of this hardcore monster, like not pure CGI, like still stunts and stunt doubles with a little bit of CGI.
I love some of the early, like the Peter Jackson one from the 80s is so fucking good with all that blood and stuff. It's one of the, I don't know if it's not Evil Dead or something. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like the
These
guy gets like the scratch by like the bat thing, and then like
Oh, yeah.
there's like all the zombies in their house, and oh my god, and there's like at least at that time and maybe in all history of Hollywood movies, they used the most
the genre.
fake blood of any single cinema flick to that point.
Okay, yeah.
And maybe since, because now like it's CGI. Those guys had costume blood like by the gallon, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
The whole thing is like dummies or prosthetics and lots and lots of special effects, but real life
like
ones.
green screen and being shot.
No, dude,
but
that
there
shit's
was
like,
none of that. Like
none of that. I think it's funny because it's like one of Peter Jackson's earliest shits. I should look it up on my phone so I don't just give the fuck you.
Hit the pause button. Okay, this is gonna sound so stupid, but the fact that podcasts are genius because it displays an entirely different form to the bullet point ways that we've been trained. Having a deep, long conversation with someone that's isolated is from a communication standpoint, because that's what I studied when I was a gaucho lay in 2010. Did you go from high school to college and knock it out in 4 years or whatever?
Yeah, I had
you're
like
on the same time frame.
I had a huge scarcity mindset when I was in college because I had already lost my mom to that point in time, and like I don't, and I lost a bunch of people in my life. I don't think I recognized that I was like probably like, you know, low key, like being affected by like trauma, even then, at least, and feeling like scarcity mindset and shit. But I had to pay my way through college. I had a big scholarship that I was able to get that was started out at like 20 grand over 4 years, turned into like 30 grand over 4 years. So
you got a scholarship, dude?
Yeah, I was like a straight A student. I could have gotten my, it was either between me and one of the other UCLA bound kids from my high school. Eric Dita got valedictorian, but I was like next in line, kind of beside him. He just he took more AP classes than me.
Is that another trauma thing? You're like, I could have been me.
No, dude, not at all. Like I was hyper competitive. I performed really well in like structured systems because it gave me a great place to put energy and everything made sense.
About,
you know what was expected of you. And you were learning, and like I loved learning. Like I took my studies serious in high school, but then I burned out and shit. But I was a straight fucking A student from like literally as soon as they grade you, like what, like 5th grade, 6th grade, all the way through 12th. There was one time I got a B. It was mechanical drawing. I was like, this is bullshit. This B plus cannot stand. And I fucking went to the teacher and I was like, what can I do to change this shit? Because honestly, you're not going to tarnish my record through fucking mechanical drawing. I've been here every day and I've done everything. What's up? He's like, you're just not like that into it. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, that is so... What, are you fucking kidding me?
Did you have to like... Wait, is it because you were a girl?
Okay. I was like, what's the solution? He's like, come in.
Did you have to suck his...
No, thank God he was old and that would have been horrible.
Okay.
No,
I mean, just to get a better grade.
No, but he did have me come in and spend some of my hard earned time away from school. Oh. And I spent like
you put a little bit of effort into it.
2-3 afternoons doing extra drawing for him, and then he changed it to like.
Okay, good. So he just wanted you to
like
earn
an A or an A plus.
Is it weird that you told me you do graphic design stuff?
And then I was like, all I needed was an A minus. Like I was all fucking catty about it and shit. But no, like
you could definitely pull out being catty and shit.
And I went. So no, I mean like, and then so my mom died when I was 16. That was horrible. But like I put all of my rather than like fucking off from school, my Gemini self was able to like dedicate everything to school, to still getting straight A's, still playing like my varsity year of soccer, all that shit. And then on the other hand, be like this total snowboard bum, hanging out with people, like drinking and partying and shit. And like I could live the duality, and it was crazy. Yeah, and I graduated early from high school. Like I graduated by
so you're a smarty pants.
December of my senior year. Yeah, bro. From like my junior year onward, I always had at least one quarter off during winter. So like we could get off school by 12:20 and go snowboarding every day. Bro. Yeah. So I was, dude, life was fucking fun in high school. And I had a job at like a restaurant that was real good in town. I made good money. It was fun. I bought my own fucking car when I was 16, even though my parents was going to give me one. Literally the week before I turned 16, on your birthday, that means. Like on your birthday.
You're welcome.
on like when I'm like
Nothing to do with
just
this.
shy of 16. I'm 15.
Yeah.
I'm mobbing the car that my fucking parents have been saving for me, like this 1990 Subaru Legacy. I'm like,
Oh, nice.
I got me, my best friend, and her boyfriend at the time in the car, and we're probably high, and I'm showing off, and I just fucked up, and I went in like a double divot, and there was like this rock that punched a hole in the oil pan, and I like get out and I look and I'm like, oh fuck, like that looks bad.
That's
and
what
I,
happens to everybody.
I get the car back to the house, but then so I basically total my own car that they're gonna give me, and I'm like, you know what, my big dick, I got $3,000 in savings. Let's just do this, and I found a car for like $2,800 that was way more epic. Look, it looked like the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Oh,
it's got a 1983, right? Subaru XT6.
Whoa.
Fucking like 2-door small body with like a trunk.
Yeah.
V6 engine. Ripping. I did not deserve that car. I get to Reno, from Reno to Truckee in like 20
you crashed the
minutes.
one car on purpose just to make sure you got the car
Buy
that you
myself my own car.
wanted.
It was so fun, dude. I was one of the first people to do that like chalk top like to your car. I did a black roof so people could write with chalk on my car when I wasn't at it, and we could fit our short
I didn't know
snowboards
that
into the
was
back.
a thing.
It's like me and like all my girlfriends would hop in there, fucking rock and roll to the slopes.
Yeah, rock and roll the slopes. Yeah,
Dude,
I was
so fucking fun.
I played video games like Snowboard Kids growing up, and then I have like a Burton board and my whole setup because I was cool. Like I grew up in Orange County, right? So I was active. Like I was surfing, I was skating, I was snowing, I was fucking boarding, everything. You know, like
Dead Alive. It is Dead Alive.
It is Dead Alive. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But it was 1992. I was wrong on the year.
Oh dang.
He wrote the screenplay
my
for
brother's
it.
born in 92. Yeah.
These fucking ungrateful bastards on IMDb only give it a 7.5 out of 10. Fuck you.
Fuck you. Well, they're paid to be prisses. That's the thing. Like, if you want someone to be prissy, like that's someone's job.
For those of you that haven't seen it, it's considered comedy, fantasy, and horror. Its original title was Brain Dead, but then it came out under Dead Alive. 1992, R-rated. A young man's mother is bitten by a Sumatran rat monkey. Nothing.
Oh yeah, you know.
Nothing racist about that.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
Are we
She
racist
gets
against
sick and
Sriracha?
dies.
Oh shit.
At which time she comes back to life, killing and eating dogs, nurses, friends, and neighbors.
Nice.
If you haven't seen it, you should see it. It's fucking epic.
Okay, fine.
I wonder if they have any of the little factoids about it because.
Oh yeah, sometimes there's like a little trivia.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's see if they.
Because you're probably right. It's probably one of those like in this movie they used 6.8
so much fucking blood.
Vials of blood.
Taglines gone with the blood. Did you know trivia?
I love this stuff though. The trivia of cinema is cool. I took an Italian cinema class. I took a history of American cinema class.
Yes.
I did personally. I didn't get scholarships because I'm what you call a Jew, so I had to work for it.
Damn it. Yo, I always thought. I mean, I got good grades, and then that my mom died, like definitely paired together to get me into every school that I applied to.
Oh, they gave you that symphony
you would have
points?
been no, it was deserved. I was like a fucking varsity soccer player. I was like a fucking straight A student. And then I was a good writer, and I wrote like really compelling entry essays that happened to include the experience of me losing my mom. I think it probably would have been pretty fucking heartless if someone hadn't have let me in.
Yeah,
but I don't think they gave me sympathy points. I think I just made it that much easier for them to say yes.
Yeah, that's true.
You
but at
know?
the same time, like, yeah, that much easier.
But
It's
when
just
I
the
was,
icing
but
on
when
the
I was a
cake.
kid growing up, all of my family would make jabs and jokes about. So, Grandpa Dick Wright handed down his last name of Wright. I grew up Breon Wright.
Oh yeah.
But Grandpa Dick Wright was born to Richard Wright. Sorry, I got a family of dicks. I got a family dick problem. I can tell you about it sometime.
Oh yeah, please. I mean,
so Grandpa
yeah.
Dick. I grew up with two Grandpa Dicks.
Oh,
I just assumed that everybody had this.
Yeah, and one of them was the last name. The other one was what we called him.
No, I had a Grandpa Dick Watson and a Grandpa Dick Wright. So Grandpa Dick Wright was born to Percival Wright and like Bernadette Soberanes.
Like
and
the
everyone's
Wright brothers or something.
everyone's like, if only Grandpa had taken the last name Soberanes, it'd be so easy for all of us to get into college.
Oh right.
I was like, what the fuck is that shit, guys?
Yes.
But I think for my cousins, maybe that was more true.
Maybe it works out. Well, and it is weird to think that like my cousins,
I mean, everybody went to like nice schools and like Ivy League places and shit. So I'm pretty sure like everybody was doing fine on their own.
So they're doing just fine. Yeah. I have. Wait, is this where I tell you what mine are?
Go for it.
So on my mom's side, my mom, it's like Slavkin, but I'm sure that was changed at whatever it is. And then on my dad's side, it's like Dent, like in a car door. So it's always easy for me to add that to it. But like it's a super English name that everybody has. And then of course I get a first name. This is why I had to invent my own name that didn't exist, because my first name is Jason. In a world of hockey mask, serial killer, fucking Jason's running around just...
Dude, wait, they like topped themselves in like a remake of this shit. Evil Dead Rise says that it used 6,500 liters of fake
that was
fucking
close
blood.
To whatever number I
6,500 liters. From Evil Dead Rise, latest film in the Evil Dead series. But here's what's crazy: like when they brought back Evil Dead, it was so much like scarier and like less fun.
Which one was that?
Oh fuck! Did I make?
Oh yeah, I remember. And here's the problem. I worked in a movie theater from like when Chicken Little came out till like past Dark Knight trilogy.
Dead Alive. Oh, I meant to look up Dead Alive blood.
Oh.
The Evil Dead was the one with like Ash and the guy that like loses his arm and then it becomes a chainsaw. And the original one in the 80s is hilarious. Yeah. And then they remade it in like...
I remember they had
in like 2016 and it was scary as shit, dude. Like way more blood, way more like gore.
Knight Rider or like Christine or whatever those fucking cars are that like eat people. I remember there was like a back-to-back that I watched with that, and then like the chainsaw arm guy. And then when you go to video games like Duke Nukem and stuff, you're like, I wonder if there's any relation. But then you have to realize that all that is like not only are you playing it, or not only are you enjoying the genre of maybe a horror movie, you're running around like you're clicking on heads, you know what I'm saying? So like
they
and
all
then you get in the flow
it.
state. Going back to like, dude, like
flow state.
Boom, boom, boom. You gotta shoot all the zombies. Oh, by the way, in real life, having a gun with only like you can't carry millions of fucking bullets on you when the zombies come. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, and in that original Dead Alive, they used 1,000 gallons of fake blood throughout the movie. So they originally held the record until like 2013.
Oh yeah, and then someone's like, "We're just gonna take the record for that from them," and you're like,
dude, see, this one was so much scarier. The Evil Dead remake and like Fede Alvarez,
I can't do
Evil Dead remake. It was so fucking horrible. I mean, I couldn't either, and I sometimes still can't. Like, when I was pregnant and not, like, drinking or smoking weed, like, I watched some scary fucking, like, The House on the Hill or some shit, and I kid you not, I had, like, these nightmares about this fucking, like, half, like, zombie fucking thing that's, crawls up all fast to the kid in the dumbwaiter, and I'm like, ah! And then, like, every time I'd walk to my bed, I'd be like, he's under my bed! I'd be like, ah! Shut in my bed, and I was like, bro, this is embarrassing. I was like 29 when I watched this movie, or it was like a TV series on Netflix, but holy shit, it scared the fucking shit out of me, bro.
Dude, my dad used to, my bedtime used to be at a certain time, and my dad would still like finish watching whatever he's watching, because we had like the surround sound downstairs, and then it would like bounce off the echo and then go to your room. Like, you know, like if my dad was watching some adult stuff, well, I had to go to bed.
Some adult stuff like how to bake a cake, right?
Yeah. No, I mean just like you know, the shows, the later show, you know, like so there's like explosions and helicopters and
violence.
Violence going on.
Violence and guns.
And as a kid, you know, I stayed up and watched TV shows with my dad, like 24 with like Keith Sutherland back in the day, man. And they had like the first black president.
Oh man.
And then he turned into the Allstate man or whatever the fuck. But like but I remember like chilling on the couch watching that, and then I had to go to bed at like 9:30 or whatever it is, and then my dad would skip. But then I remember like in order to tune it out, because I didn't have the privilege of watching it, but I was listening to it.
Yeah, I'm here still.
Or you know, it's kind of like Sean Connery is someone that his voice is something that like I worked on a long time ago.
Oh, let's hear it.
Sean Connery. Hold on, now that I have to. You see, there's a lot going on these days. And we need to, it needs to end. We used to be in a submarine. We were a league. We don't know where we're going. I don't know, but like.
That was great, dude.
But like, kids don't even know who Sean Connery is.
Well, that's a shame because he was hot back in the day when he was a James Bond guy.
Yeah, so people go, oh, he was a Bond. You're like, oh, cool.
He was a Bond.
Whatever, dude.
Dude, everyone had to be hot. And back then they were
Like
young.
The
I feel
Rock.
like for some reason the threshold for age of Bond has pushed up and they've still been kind of like hot older men. But like back then it was like young Bonds.
Yeah.
Like under age 35.
I'm a huge fan of cinema. I'm a huge fan of Bond. Like, but here's the problem. Like, so when I was working at the movie theater, I'm at the 15. I'm driving my '89 Chevy S10 pickup.
Sick,
we were both
dude.
180. Oh, it was a red. It was the neighbors, dude. He got a new truck, and my dad bought off him for nothing. Sat there for a year
And
before I
like,
could
Dad,
even
I'm
drive.
taking this shit.
Yeah, and I was like. Because like
my
I
car.
just, you spend. We grew up with like Mario Kart and all that.
Yeah.
Like we grew up with like racing the downhill and video SX Trick.
I was already like
all these video games.
mobbing
Like,
cars around at 15 on dirt roads. Like, because I was like, well, the cops can't go there, which is true. Like they don't patrol
golf cart
the
and stuff like that.
off road, but you can also be an idiot and fucking. Take out your car like I did.
Yeah, I did a little bit of that, like out in the desert with my grandparents here and there.
Oh yeah, bro. I mean, that was it. Like one of my friends' dads, like would pick up a 6-pack and be like, "You guys can drive around, until I'm done with this." And then when he was done with it, he's like, "I can't drive, so you drive us home." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I'm like 13, like trying to look like I'm 15. Like, I've got my learner's permit. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah. Well, no, but that's kind of like it's a good idea to get it in early. And then the other thing is like everyone knows you're gonna crash your first car, but like when you
I fucking did not crash that my Subaru. I did crash my dad's Honda CRV though.
Yeah.
I did, yeah. I rolled it.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Completely rolled it and then landed upright, but that was fucked up. I had like 3 passengers in the car. Everyone was okay.
Yeah, okay, that's good. That's
I was bleeding everywhere.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I still have some glass in my arm from it.
Oh.
It kind of started my like
rebel phase?
Well,
did it change
more
your
like
perspective?
my tattoos being more meaningful because I have this giant pyramid that's on the inside of my arm covering the scars that we left open because the doctors tried to dig out all the glass and it was shot into my muscle and you can't numb that and it was painful. I was like watching a live action like, oh, this is so interesting, but ow, this is so painful. And they're like, okay, we're gonna leave it open like shrapnel, and I'm like a soldier, and they're like, yeah, sometimes it just works its way out. Well, that's not what happened. The glass stayed in the muscle. It took fucking 4 times as long for the goddamn puncture holes to like heal without being stitched. And then I had these ugly ass like little cat buttholes on the inside of my arm. And I was like, they're so ugly and I still have scars like riddled throughout my arm from this glass. Cause I put my arm up like this when the car rolled.
Well, that glass could have went into your eye.
That's what the doctor was like, dude, good instinct. Like it shot into your arm and not your face.
Yeah.
Like this.
That could have been, no offense, but that could have been Final Destination. Sucks that you're alive. Sucks that's all, you walk.
And then I got a tattoo over
away.
it. I got a big ass tattoo over it when I was still, when I was like 20.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, and one time we were having an argument, and such a relevant thing, like says, well, at least I'm not the one with a giant pyramid, tattooed inside my arm.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gave him such a clap back that he never said anything negative about any other tattoos since. And I was like, Dad, I got into that car accident. I had scars inside of my arm. I couldn't control those scars being there. At least I chose this. If it's one thing or the other, at least I chose for the art to be there. Yeah. The scars are there either way. And I think you got the message. It was like, but I look at it now and it's like, I've gotten so many more tattoos. I have essentially 2 sleeves in various phases of being finished. My left is almost complete. My right is basically on its way to that.
I've never thought about getting a tattoo before, dude. And you literally just beamed the concept of like, maybe I should get a tattoo.
I mean, it's totally like, I don't try to convince anybody of like what makes sense for them. Right now. But like, I'm a person who's dealing with trauma, and I look at like various kind of modalities of treatment, and some of it's like handled on my own, like trying to breathe meditatively, or like do yoga, or to participate in sports because they keep me present, or to play music, to sing, to dance, all that shit I do on my own. Tattooing, I tag that on too. Tattooing for me, it keeps me very present and mindful. Like, bro, as you're getting tattooed, you're in the moment and you're having to kind of just contend with like, it's uncomfortable. At worst, it's like pretty painful, but mostly it's just uncomfortable.
I would presume
you have to just go with the flow of it, and you have to allow for your body to be a canvas. If you want the best outcome, you don't want to be twitching, you don't want to be moving, you don't want to be like tightening your muscle. You want to just be kind of loose like a goose. And you have to be able to deal with this like this mind body fucking the pain of being in the moment, and you invited the pain, and
Yeah, it's like I'm paying money
and yet you still have to deal with the pain, because even though you invite the pain, the pain is still the pain.
So the pain is weird in my world. I don't know if you know this or not, but my appendix burst when I was in like 3rd grade.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
So
Super
I still
painful.
have a scar. I had
Super painful.
Yeah, like so I was technically, I had all these,
Were you hospitalized?
Yeah, I was hospitalized. I missed a month of school in October.
Holy cow.
I quote unquote, like, in my world, I fucking had enough. It exploded in, like.
That's bad. So then that's the worst, because it gets
pain,
infected on the inside.
Yeah, so I exploded, and then they ran in and said, okay, cool, now take him to the ER. Because,
fuck, dude, did you go septic or something?
Well, I died and came back to life. I don't care if someone says I didn't, because
no, but I understand that. Like, I'm a dead man too. Like, I mean, my daughter would have been stuck in me if it weren't for modern technology. They had to cut her out. But I don't know. She was in a presentation of like breech.
Geez.
We knew that. I was gonna try and give birth to her in Ventura, because in Santa Barbara they don't let you do that. They're just like, no, we're private. We can kind of say no. Like, unless you come in at the 11th hour, they won't let you do like a breech vaginal birth. It's like they're like cephalic only, head down only. We only trust this. Our doctors only trust this. Blah, fine. So I find some old doctor in Ventura that's willing to try, but she like is too big by the scans. Okay, we all agreed upon a set of like what's gonna be safest for everybody. Okay, we go to a C-section. Fine.
Yeah.
I have a planned C-section for like Friday, the actual gestational due date.
Oh my gosh.
And like, I think I'm gonna have like till 11 a.m. on this like Friday, November 30th, 2018. Like, no big deal. And I spontaneously went into labor at like 3 fucking a.m. And I went through like really painful contractions from like 3 a.m. until probably about like 9 a.m. because I was dehydrated because I couldn't drink water leading into surgery the next day.
Yeah.
But then when I got to the hospital, like they didn't even give me like a hydration bag for hours of being there before someone like thought to check how dehydrated I was.
Oh.
And it turns out that when you're dehydrated, you go through worse contractions if you're dehydrated. So once they gave me
Charlie horses.
Yeah, once they gave me hydration, I was doing much better.
Wait, is it? I don't have contractions.
Because uterus is like a fucking giant muscle that gets contracted but hurts a lot when it contracts. Like that's it.
Have you ever had a Charlie horse before?
Yeah, dude, they're the worst. They lock up in your fucking back.
So is that like
shit.
a uterus Charlie horse? Like,
yeah,
fucking,
kind of, dude.
I don't want to know what that feels like, but if I, as a dude.
But so then at the last second,
I would never know.
When I go get cut by my doctor, she's expecting to find a butt and just do an easy delivery by butt through the cut. Well, my daughter has managed to jostle her. So it matters either head. You need, no matter what, it needs to be head or butt down. A baby is not coming out of another human being unless it is head or butt down through anything, through a cut, through anything. If you want that mom to survive,
there's limbos in half. It's like
no, like I mean, back in the day, they would just like slice a woman like entirely laterally, and that's super fucked up. And they would leave these massive scars, and most of the women might get infected and die because they would just pull the baby out all full. Okay, those days are gone. Now they make as small of an incision as possible, and they try to like keep it minimal. So for
like
infection and everything else. But when the baby is not butt or head down, they can't deliver it. Yeah. So my stupid kid, what'd she do? Well, she's back down. That's like transverse. So if it hadn't have been that we went for like the C-section already, like even then, it was so weird. Like I'm on spinal tap. I can't feel anything from like my fucking boobs down. Like, but when they jostled that baby into like having its ass down from its back down, I just felt like this like dummy that was like getting like shrouded. I was like, what is fucking
that's gotta be
happening?
A weird experience,
but then I was like, I look at it as like I'm a ghost, because if it was like another time in life, like maybe I wouldn't have survived a surgery like that. Maybe they couldn't have known to do that. Maybe I would have died of exhaustion in labor trying to give a baby back down birth. You know what I mean?
My friend from college, she wanted to have a home birth. She's a fucking fairy. Like
and some people can just do that so magically too.
But she's like, it's a good thing we ended up in the hospital because she had all these things.
All the complications? That's fucked.
And it's like good. It's a good technology. Look, science technically saved my life. They surgeried me back to life.
Surgery. Yeah, same with my heel. I'd be club-footed if it weren't for my shattered heel being put back together by like pins.
Yeah, I have so
even though
many
they hurt me now
injuries.
chronically.
Yeah. I didn't get the pins in my feet. I just deal with the pain of pain.
Ghost people. So you're a ghost person. I get it. Sorry, I robbed you.
I'm a ghost too, or a shaman, or So remember when the LIBs was in
Irvine?
In Irvine, this dude named Shaman Derek had a speech. At the time, I was hanging out with my friend that I just met, Hannah, and And we sat there, and he's telling the story about how he died and
That's
what
so
it's
crazy.
like,
Yeah.
and being a shaman and seeing mystical things. And I'm face crying. I'm not sniveling. I'm just tears were just going.
You're striking with every note. You feel
I was
something.
vibing or resonating so hard with this conversation that I've never been able to talk to someone else before because I don't know anyone else that gone through my experience.
Right.
Because even my cousins who's older, because they had their appendix later, they just went in and did the liposuction. They didn't have to wait. It didn't.
They didn't get infected and spend a month
and have staples in them when they were in 3rd grade. So like my
A.
concept of like what is scary, what is reality, I had a tube sticking out of myself. I had to like
having
walk
to see
to the
yourself like
bathroom
that's like a kind of a disassociative state of living, you know? You're not used to seeing. That's not you.
And this is the age where like I'm still afraid of like the weird rustling noises outside
in the night.
at
Yeah,
night.
so just not having your parents in the room would be
so like I'm now
disconcerting.
wake up in a hospital.
Oh, that's scary.
And well, technically I'm already at the hospital screaming in pain in a waiting room. They move me to a different room because I'm screaming so loud.
Fuck.
And I'm
You're
screaming
scaring
for
the
hours.
other patients.
Yeah.
Could you just get a hold of yourself? You're like,
Dude,
no, I can't.
I'm cry screaming this just because of how much it hurts. And but this is I'm like, okay, cool. At least it doesn't hurt anymore. 3rd grade, it's out. So like I don't have an appendix. It burst. I would have been dead. Like if I was out in the wild west. If I dead.
Well, I just say like going through like experiences of either loss of other people or the potential loss of your own life definitely fucking changes you, bro.
So the other thing is, and like you previously shared with cancer, your mom.
Oh yeah,
16.
my mom died of cancer at 16. Yeah,
my dad,
I was 16.
You were 16.
She was 52 or would be 52 later that year.
I was in my late
51.
I was in my late 20s, like 20. So my parents got divorced when I was like 25, which is like, why even bother at this point? But
they wanted to live their own lives.
yeah, they ran off and did their own things. My brother and I, quote unquote, split up. So I lived with dad and my.
They each wanted to hang out with stuff.
Yeah, exactly. To be honest, I'm pretty sure my brother wanted to live with us, but it's more balanced when we split up.
I'm gonna give you just rapid fire questions after this too, just
okay, cool.
FYI.
But what I was getting at is my dad passed away. I'm trying to do the math here. So I was like 27, 28. This is like 4 years before COVID happened. Where I got this new job. I was this big director at this cloud company, and he felt comfortable that I was gonna be doing fine. And then I just watched him go from healthy, happy, new girlfriend, working out, yoga. My
everything
dad's
was
in the
amazing.
best shape he's been in for years, happy.
Yeah.
To, hey, cancer, you're 3 to 5 years, 1 to 2 years, complications. Making sure my dad isn't dead in the next room. So I lived with him.
Oh God. I feel that. Big way. My sister was down at UCSB already as my mom was in her final throes of life for that last year and a half that she was just dying of cancer.
Yeah.
And I was there, and it was really a crazy wall of trying to build up not.
This is why I chain smoke cigarettes.
Your only defense as a kid is to try and sort of lie to yourself and try and bootstrap through it and pretend it's not as bad as it is, but it is that bad.
Or just try to laugh at all times.
It is that bad, dude. It is that fucking bad.
And I'm an emotional wreck. Like when I still remember graduating from my religious school with my friends or whatever, and I'm the dude that's just face crying happy. I face cry happy.
Being in touch with your emotions, I feel like being run by your emotions is one thing, but being in touch with your emotions is another. It's good to be able to be human and be in touch with your emotions.
Yeah, but the image of a man, and I'm sure there's so many examples that people can come up with, but real men don't cry. All the way to like we can cry if we want to the crying is actually a release that I need to happen in order for the unicorn tears to bring me back to life.
Yeah, dude. And if you were a white woman and you bottled those tears, you could sell them as privilege.
Yes. And sometimes
not to Amy Schumer.
Is that she's hilarious. So
she did not write that, but she did let her writers feature that as a hilarious thing on her show.
I didn't know that she apparently was not. So here's the thing. I want her to do a like a red carpet style show,
That'd be
but I
fun.
want it to be little Miss Piggy and Kermit, and she sits at home with her
Yeah,
bottle
like
of
the
wine,
headset on.
and she with the headset.
Oh, yeah, that's
and then
so
we
funny.
have like Miss Piggy, and she could just do Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
She would be with the wine, and she's like just sitting at home,
Living her
like,
best life.
living her best life, and she's just doing
love it.
Mrs. Piggy voices. She'd be great. She's a train wreck.
She'd be great.
Or she was a train wreck.
No, she's gotten her life pretty much together because she has a kid now.
But now she has kids and stuff. Yeah. Is that how you feel? Because I feel like your husband, and your kid, your dog, your cat, your existence,
Oh my God,
where you
it's
are
so
right
debatable.
now.
I feel like my husband has his life together. I feel like I'm constantly a work in progress right now because the trauma thing is real.
But
I've
he's
only
got 5 years on
but
us.
yes,
Or you,
and he has a
life.
lifetime of not being traumatized. Like I have my childhood trauma from losing my mom. Like she first had
trauma
cancer
was
when I was
later,
8, and then like she died at 16. All these other people died in my life that were friends. Like by the time I'm 19, I have 5 people that have died on me. Like I got traumatized by
Death march.
I got
Death
traumatized in my
marches.
childhood without knowing it, and I really like.
The Black Parade.
Bro, it's like if I could describe in the past 2 years as as just an analogy that's easy for
Yeah.
people to picture. It's
Hit me.
like I like in 2021, a bunch of stuff happened that just like ripped some furniture out of the way. Okay, we're in a living room, right?
Yeah.
We're in a living room, and there's a basement that we don't know about in this living room. And all of a sudden,
Secret
the
basement.
couch is fucking moved. The rug has been shifted, and all of a sudden we see a fucking
Like a
basement
secret
door.
lab thing.
And
Oh
there's,
my God.
And there's
yes.
fucking locks and shit on it. And what had
there's
happened
locks?
in 2021 is like the couch got shoved aside with some of the incidents. The rug got pulled aside with some of the other incidents. And by the end of the year, I saw the door for the first time and went, wait, I'm a person with PTSD from loss. And shout out, and I've talked about this on my show before, but shout out to fucking Lil Wayne because it was his like quote in like some fucking stupid thing, like a People magazine thing. And it was like him just identifying with his own like PTSD from losing his best friend, like being shot dead in front of him. And I was like,
Dude,
not
music is-
exactly
oh,
the
yeah.
same as what happened to me, but it struck a note, and I was like, what? That's what
He's
it
like a
is.
notist,
That's
dude.
what it is. And so since the end of like,
Wait. So
since like the beginning of 2022 till now,
Okay.
I've like been aware of the door, and now I'm finally trying to like take the locks off and deal with some of the
I'll go
trauma
with.
that's down there, like
If
little
you need
by
a
little.
spelunker with you,
Like
you
legit,
need a
you
buddy
guys.
bud. Like,
In real time, today is Thursday, April 13th. April 13th. Oh, this is beautiful. So the 13th, that's significant to me. 13 is my favorite number. So today I'm going to meet for the first time with like a direct trauma therapist.
Oh, yeah.
And
You
I've
set
only
the
I've
appointment
identified my
before we
trauma
started
with
this.
like a couples therapist that me and my husband see, and she and I've done a little bit of exploring on my own, but we decided I need a guy. I need a person who's
person
just
that
my
can-
own
yeah,
to
yeah.
deal with this directly. And she
so you could hyper focus this one thing that you want to focus on.
and to not convolute it with like the other stuff that me and my husband need with her. Like she's wonderful. I just feel like it's
too
enough.
much work for her just
It's
to
enough
deal with.
just seeing the two of us together. Like hats
we
off
know.
to my therapist. She's amazing. But so she
Keeps you
recommended me to a
balanced.
colleague, and I reached out yesterday and like fuck yeah, bro. He got back at me. Someone canceled. So 3 p.m. today, you guys, will be my first time seeing this trauma therapist. I don't know if we're
Nice.
just gonna establish a relationship. I don't know if I'm gonna
Just
get to
intros
do.
or
EMDR is what he does.
Oh yeah. Can you explain to people that don't know what that is?
EMDR is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. EMDR.
Oh, gotcha.
So here, let me just read for clinicians.
So it's like-
it's a psychotherapy treatment that was originally designed to alleviate the distress associated with traumatic memories. From Shapiro in 1989. She's the one that was walking through the park and like just like happened to discover this, and then she developed it into like a modality for dealing with for therapists to help patients in a clinical setting. EMDR is just a way that patients and their therapists can together access what would be otherwise like traumatic, triggering memories that could put people into like a flashback without it being overwhelming and fully putting them into a flashback. And the way to do that is to remind them that they're in a safe place in the here and now, and that was then and this is now, instead of re-experiencing the whole memory as if it's right now. In trauma, you're experiencing the whole memory as if it's right now. You're smelling it, you're hearing it, you're feeling those original feelings. Like the easiest way to think about it, everyone pictures like the Vietnam vet or something coming back, and then like the balloon pops at the market, and all of a sudden they're back in a field in Vietnam and people are shooting at them, and they're like in real life, obviously in a grocery store. Okay, like that's an intense flashback. But you can have more just emotional ones. I have like complex trauma from my childhood. So mine are not like the Vietnam vet, but the idea would be that you can access these memories in a way that's more like sitting in a movie theater and watching it on a screen instead of just experiencing it all over again. Try to safely look at it and try to get your body to register this fact that it was then and that it's over and that this is now and it's no longer an impending threat. Because trauma gets stored in the body because of fight or flight, because of all these different things. Your body has these different systems that exist in a good way to help you get through situations as they come up. But trauma is when the body gets aroused in that way and then never feels a sense of safety and never comes away from that feeling of arousal. And so it's like a constant state that's being fought by someone who has PTSD, whether it's at the forefront of their knowledge or not. And I'm someone who's like trying to deal with this now because honest to God, it's been horrible. And I look back at my life as being in a cage of trauma and decisions that are made that weren't fully my decision of my own full knowledge and being and in ways because of scarcity or whatever attached to my trauma. So long story long, I got trauma. It's complex. I'm trying to deal with it. And I'm about to meet with a therapist today that allows me to hopefully start that journey. And maybe I just will keep talking about it with you guys because I'm sure I'll talk to Dani about it. So that's what's up. Look at that. Perfect. I wrapped it up right before you came back.
Dude, your timing is impeccable.
All right, dude. And then I'm going to give you like rapid fire questions.
Oh, yeah, we're supposed to do that.
And then that'll be like our bringing this to a conclusion because we've had so much good stuff to talk about. I feel like people have gotten to know you. Hey, y'all. This concludes part 1 of episode 4. Tune back in for part 2 to hear all the rapid fire questions with JD. Nothing's really a rapid fire answer, but have fun. Hope you learned some shit about EMDR or trauma. Holler at us on the socials at spectrum.pod, at Steezy Breezy, at Dani.loza. What up, what up, what up? We're on YouTube, Rare Girl channel. Find all of our links on our link tree. Raregirl.com, RAREGRRRL. Do it, homies. Bye.